Hey all, welcome back to the Fire and Water Cooking Channel. I'm Darren, of course, and today we're going to do something I know I've never done on this channel before, but it's about time I did it. We're going to cook some steak and lobster, so surf and turf. I got some American Wagyu Filets, and I got some Maine lobster tails from Crowd Cow. So we're going to go ahead and sous vide these and cook them up. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I'm going to prep them. It's really hot out here, so I got to get this going because I got some cold butter here and I know it's going to melt if I don't get moving. I'll be right back.
Smoking, grilling, getting hot and hotter, sous vide and chilling from fire and water.
Alright guys, so like I said, we're going to sous vide both of these today. I'm going to sous vide the steaks. Even though since they're fillets, they don't need to be tenderized. I want them to be cooked perfect. So we're going to go ahead and sous vide the steaks, and we're going to sous vide cook the lobster so they're cooked perfect. So since they're two different proteins, you can do one of two things. You can use two different cooking vessels. If you have two different sous vide circulators, you can do that. Or you can just cook them kind of like around the same temperature. That's what I think I'm going to do today. One of the things is I don't need to have the lobsters in at the same time as the fillets because the fillets are thicker. It's going to take them a little longer to cook all the way through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep them all. We'll put the fillets in, let them cook for an hour or so, maybe a little over an hour, and then about halfway through the cook we'll drop the lobsters in and then let them cook. But first of all, I need to prep these. So I'm going to prep the lobster tails first. Fillets are easy, they just need to be seasoned and put in the bag. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how we're going to prep these lobster tails. These are little Maine lobster tails, like I said, and they are prickly here on the sides. So that's one of the first things we need to do is remove those little sharp ends here on the sides because we don't want them to punch the bag. So you kind of want to just trim those down. The tail side is fine. It's usually just this along the edge here. You want to get those sharp edges off. You can get the little feet off too if you want, but just try to remove those little sharp edges here because we don't want them poking the bag. So that's pretty much it. So you just let along the edge here, get those sharp pokey edges off, and then we're going to go ahead and take our scissors and cut right down the middle, about 2/3 of the way, or about maybe 3/4 of the way down. I don't want the meat to kind of pull out from the back, but I do want this so I can pull the meat out and season it. So we're going to kind of go right down the middle. I said about 2/3 or 3/4 of the way, just like that. Just enough so I can pull some of that meat out. And do it real carefully because you don't want to rip this apart. You just kind of want to pull these shells back and kind of lift the meat out. Alright guys, so after you get that cut, you can go ahead and take like the bottom of the spoon here, and you want to just kind of push that along the sides to kind of remove some of that meat so it's not sticking to the sides or the bottom anymore. Kind of want to let it come loose. So you just take, like I said, the bottom of this, and you just want it to come away from the shell as much as you can so we can pull this up and season it up. Alright, try not to pull too hard, but once you get it loose, you just pull this meat right up outside of the shell and clean up any mess that you have here. There could be some guts or something in here you might want, just like on the shrimp, and want to get the insides up. So just go ahead and pull the meat up, get it outside the shell. This one's a little tricky. It's hanging on to the shell for dear life. Alright. And that's it. Get it up, get it out of the shell. Just lay it right on top, and that's how we're going to season them up, guys. Just clean it up a little bit. We're just go ahead and put some seasoning on that, and then we're going to put it back in the shell for cooking. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to finish all these up, and we're going to show you how we're going to season them. I'll be back. All right, guys, so I got my lobster meat exposed here, and I'm just going to season it up with some of my Fire and Water Cooking all-purpose black garlic seasoning, which is salt, pepper, a little bit of black garlic, and regular garlic. So pretty much goes on anything. So we're going to use that for our steaks, as well as just a little bit on our lobster. Season both sides of the steaks here. Like I said, salt, pepper, garlic, but it's using black garlic, which I kind of love. You can check it out on the fireandwatercooking.com website. Just all over the steaks. And on the lobster. And then what I'm going to do with the lobster too, when I put them in the bags, I'm going to put just a little bit of butter in there, so they're going to poach in the butter and the all-purpose salt, pepper, and garlic rub, and black garlic rub. So we're going to go ahead, let's show just a little bit more. And we're going to probably season up these steaks just a little bit more. We are going to sear these off, probably with our torch. And that's it, guys. We're going to get these in the bag, and then we're going to put them in the sous vide. It's almost up to temp. I'll be right back. All right, guys, it's time to put my fillets in, but as you can tell, boy, it's Florida. It's the afternoon. It's raining in the summertime. So I got my 6 fillets. These are American, 100% Wagyu American beef. These are from Grand Western Steaks, just like where Guya gets them. So I got these on a special deal. So we're going to go ahead and toss these in. We're going to cook them for a good hour and a half before we put the lobster in. So lobster is not going to take very long, and we're at 132.5 degrees right now. So that's where we're going to leave it. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and when these are getting close to done, we're going to toss the lobster in. It's not going to take long for the lobster to cook, maybe a half hour, 40 minutes, that's it. So let's let these cook for a little bit, and I'll be back when I'm tossing the lobsters in the bath. All right, guys, it's time to get those lobsters in the tank. So I'm going to go ahead and put them right underneath my steaks, and I'm going to put the steaks back right underneath my rack here so that make sure they stay under the water as well. I'll be right back. All right, guys, we are ready. I got these all out of the sous vide. These are patted dry already. I put a little spray oil. Got the meat pulled out here. We're not going to really sear this too much. We're just going to put a little flame to it. We are going to sear the fillets just a little bit. And I'm going to use my sous vide gun, high powered. Get a really quick sear on these. Watch it. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and hit the lobsters now real quick. Just a real quick sear. Nothing too hard. Guys, we're done with that. Woo! Thunder. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take a bite. Go ahead and take my bite of my fillet from right over here. The knife cuts right through it. Show you just how medium rare that is. That is super, super medium rare. Definitely. Super, super tender. Super flavorful. I'm going to take just a piece right off the top here. And Maine lobster, cooked perfect. A little bit of sear to it. Butter, seasonings. It's pretty awesome, guys. Sous vide fillets and lobsters. Check them out. Stuff a little butter to dip it in. It's perfect. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and I'll see you again on the next Fire and Water cooking video. I got people waiting for this good stuff now, so check it out. I'll see you on the next one.